Chair lays out House Resolution 253 and recognizes Representative Parker to explain the resolution.
Mr. Chairman, members, thanks for the opportunity to come before you this evening to lay out House Resolution 253. 253 seeks to recognize November of 2021 as Ukrainian Genocide Remembrance Month. From 1929 to 1953, Joseph Stalin ruled over the Soviet Union as a communist dictator. Stalin championed ideas including the coordination of all investment and production, rapid industrialization, and the collectivization of agriculture. From 1932 to 33, Stalin created an artificial famine in Ukraine, which resulted in the deaths of millions of innocent men, women, and children. This tragic event in history is commonly known as the Holodomor, which means murder by starvation. Stalin sought to punish Ukrainians for resisting his bright future of socialism. They resisted the collectivization of farms as the Soviet regime took away their God-given rights to earn a living for themselves. Ukrainians were branded as kulaks, or rich peasants, and declared enemies of the state. To this day, the Russian government denies that the Holodomor was genocide. While they concede that a famine took place, the Russian government refuses to admit that the Holodomor specifically targeted Ukrainians. We must never forget the many victims who perished as a result of such despicable acts. Many millions of innocent people died as a result of these actions, and again, what was referred to as the Holodomor. And for these reasons, Mr. Chairman, I bring forward the resolution before this evening and would so much appreciate your support and the members of the State Affairs Committee.
Members, any questions, Mr. Parker? Let me first let the record reflect that Mr. Raymond is present. Did you want to be recognized? Chair recognizes Mr.
Thank you, Chairman. I just want to thank Congressman Parker for continuing to bring these bills before us. Important, no doubt. I appreciate it. And I look at you, I think, you know, Mike Pompeo. I don't know. Thank you.
You're much too kind, my friend, much too gracious, but thank you. But it's you know, it's such an important topic, and it's important that we recognize it, right? That states in this country and the country as a whole recognizes what happened. You know, obviously there have been a number of horrible atrocities to humanity throughout all of history, but this is one that we need to remember and recognize, the suffering of millions and millions of innocent people. Thank you.
Any other questions, members? All right. If not, we'll reserve your right to close.
Thank you,
we
Mr. Chairman.
One witness. Chair calls Jake Collier. Mr. Collier, if you would state your name, who you represent, and your position on the bill, please.
My name is Jake Collier. I'm representing myself, and I'm for this bill. I want to thank Representative Parker. I actually didn't plan on testifying on this until I saw that it was on cue this morning. Ukraine has like a really special place in my heart. Last year, I went on a mission trip to Uzhhorod in Ukraine, and you know, we went around to a lot of these villages, to a lot of places, you know, poverty, slums, you know, all those different things, and you know, we learned so many things from the people. You know, I saw people get healed, saw lives get changed. But one of the biggest things that I found there was the factors of socialism. Those deep roots are still there. Those roots that go back to that Stalin era, the whole communism thing. Kids these days do not understand the terrors of socialism. They don't understand what the Holodomor is. They barely know what the Holocaust is. So, whatever you guys want to do with this resolution, as far as, you know, a month, whatever, a week, whatever, we've got to continue to make these types of things known to our students, to the people that are uneducated, to continue to build a culture that understands history, that can evaluate it and learn from it, because it repeats itself every single day. Thank you.
All right. Members, any questions? Thank you for being here.
You bet.
Is there anyone else wishing to testify on for or against the resolution? If not, the chair recognizes Mr. Parker to close on the resolution.
Well, Chairman Patty and members of the committee, again, thank you so much for the privilege of allowing me to lay out this resolution tonight and to share that with you. I appreciate your great support I think my witness, made a great comment that this is about preserving our history. We've got to remember the history of what's happened, not just here in Texas, in this country, but around the world, and particularly such a horrible atrocities where millions of human lives were sacrificed. So with that, I'll conclude my comments, and thank you for your swift consideration.
Chair recognizes Mr. King.
Yeah, just a comment, Tan, thank you for bringing this. People forget that the Soviet Union was responsible for something like 70 million killings of its own people during their 70 years.
Representative King, that's exactly right. And again, our history is not transferred in the bloodstream. We've got to make certain that we educate and teach our children, future generations. And that's what this is all about, is recognizing these kind of horrific things that occurred in our history. So, thank you.